Recently, there's been a meteoric rise in popularity of sauna use among young people and health-conscious people, spurred on by lots of influencers, celebrities, and even some doctors. Most commonly used today is the Finnish sauna, originating in Scandinavia between 10,000 and 7,000 BC. Today, there is a large market for infrared saunas, personal portable saunas, and even sauna hats. But how much scientific evidence is there for the purported benefits of using the sauna? There are a lot of claims out there, so this video will by no means be exhaustive. But the goal is to better inform people about which claims are actually based in scientific evidence. Alright, so one of the main proposed benefits of sauna is improved cardiovascular health, and there are two studies by Laukkanen and colleagues that give evidence to support this. So the first is that in a study of over 2,000 people in Finland, the ones that saunaed more throughout the week had less cardiovascular health events like sudden cardiovascular death, coronary heart disease, and all-cause mortality than those who saunaed less. The second study shows that after a 30-minute sauna session, that participants in the study had lower blood pressure than when they started, and also they had lower arterial stiffness than when they started. And both of these biomarkers are associated with cardiovascular diseases of aging, and Laukkanen and colleagues propose that sauna acts as a exercise mimetic. Although it hasn't been proved yet, sauna may provide benefits to mental health like exercise is known to do, but this is not confirmed. There's also a claim that sauna is able to help fight obesity by making fat cells more metabolically active. However, as of right now, there is not enough evidence to say that this point is accurate. However, in a 2022 study by Lee and colleagues, in both mice and humans, hyperthermia was able to make fat more metabolically active. However, it's important to note that this was done by applying a gel that heated up as light was applied to it, and not by these participants going into a sauna. So the evidence is still out on that, but there is potential that it's accurate.
The sauna has been shown to have impacts on stress hormones such as norepinephrine and prolactin and heat shock proteins in a study by Gucci et al. From 2012. Stress response proteins have had known impacts on longevity, but with this study it'd be a stretch to conclude that sauna bathing impacts longevity, mostly because the study was on a relatively small number of participants, so 25 people, and they were all of very well health. So testing a larger group with a wider spectrum of health would be beneficial for investigating this more. In a study by Dezover et al., the researchers delve into the effects of various stressors on growth hormone levels in the blood, focusing primarily on hypothermia induced by sauna bathing. They found that sauna bathing stimulated stress responses and increased growth hormone levels during the first sauna session, but had diminishing returns after the second and repeated sauna sessions, suggesting that an adaptation of some kind had occurred.
In addition to prolactin and growth hormone, one of the other hormones that saunas can help modulate is cortisol. Cortisol is a stress hormone, and what the sauna does is it lowers it. So this is important because in adults older than 60, you see increased levels of cortisol, which can help promote obesity and higher blood pressure. And so by lowering the cortisol levels, you might be helping to mitigate some of these. In addition to this, one of the things that a sauna will do is it'll stimulate the release of heat shock proteins. Heat shock proteins have a vast array of uses. In particular, there's been a lot of study with them with cardiovascular disease. One of the other things that they can do is they can help boost immune response. To keep it simple, they will upregulate macrophages. Macrophages are white blood cells that will eat pathogens, and they'll also upregulate dendritic cells, which can help target these pathogens. Saunaing will release these heat shock proteins, so it can help target these immune responses. Saunaing can also help release brain-derived neurotrophic factor, which helps protect and grow neurons, which is incredibly important because as we age, we lose neurons. You can see this with the loss of gray matter and white matter. And by doing this, we can help mitigate effects like neurodegenerative diseases such as Alzheimer's and Parkinson's.
If you decide that sauna is something you want to include in your routine, please consult with a physician and be careful. Hyperthermia and dehydration are real and they're serious. Well, we've addressed a lot of claims about sauna here, there are many more that we weren't able to cover. If nothing else, sauna can be a way to relax and recover from a long day. But as we laid out in the video, there's evidence to show that it can be a lot more than that, and that it can be beneficial for aging.